Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the MindShare PodCast. I am your host, David Greenspan, as you know, and if you just started tuning in, thank you. This episode is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems, REM Real Estate Magazine, and the ORCF, the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation. You can learn more about our sponsors by visiting my site, mindshare101.com. And while you're there, be sure to download your free copy of my book, The Ultimate Marketing Bundle, as well as learn more about our one-to-one coaching and keynote speaking. Now, just before we get started, I want to wish the love of my life the happiest birthday in the world today. She is celebrating. She has finally caught back up to my age. She can't call me old anymore. I guess that's for a short period of time, but very happy birthday, Jennifer. I love you, sweetheart. I also want to bring light to everybody that the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation is a new sponsor with us, and they're doing an amazing job, on behalf of realtors and including realtors to give back to the community at large here in Ontario, including, a lot of very specific initiatives focused on shelter. Something that we as realtors in the industry take very seriously, obviously, and everybody needs a roof over their head. And we know there's challenges out there for folks that, for many. So this foundation is in place to help give back. And I am very excited to be taking part in a motorcycle ride for charity that they're going to be doing. So I want to bring light to that. And I want to encourage everybody to go over to realtorscareontario.ca/ride. So again, that's realtorscareontario.ca/ride. There you can go and you can learn more about the ride itself. You can, of course, register to be a rider. Hey, at the very least, you can pledge to sponsor a rider. By the way, I'm going to be riding. So if you want to go and type my name in there, I got it. I will get out there and ride for you. Rain or shine, I got you. But seriously, all jokes aside, this is going towards an amazing cause that we're taking part of. We're excited to be doing so. So again, I want to encourage you, realtorscareontario.ca/ride. Today's episode is number 248. He's currently a broker at LePage Real Estate Services in Oakville and a mastered negotiation expert. Before that, he graduated from the American University of Beirut as a civil engineer. He then started his own company in plastics material trading in 98 before moving to Dubai in 05 to start yet another company in building materials. He then returned to his home country of Lebanon in 09 to restart his previous company. Now, there's a lot of companies, but by 2019, he had 10 times his sales. And then the economy collapsed. And shortly after that, he lost everything. In January of 2018, he decided to move to Canada, started his real estate course, got licensed in 2019, and officially started working the business in March 2020, just as the world began to make a drastic shift. That didn't stop him, though. He ended up earning a Sales Achievement Award in 2020, a Red Diamond Award in 2021, which is more than $500K in GCI, and a President's Award in 2022. Joining me on this episode of the MindShare podcast is real estate broker Jay Ghanem. Jay, welcome to the MindShare podcast.
Thank you, David. That's an amazing introduction, and thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. I know that there's a heartwarming success story that I think is going to be a special one today to be able to share with everybody. And I think that in between just the feel goods about the story, there's going to be a lot of action steps that are going to be able to impact everybody that's tuned in to help everybody else find their success in either real estate or anything else that they are doing. So I'm honored to have you on the show today, man.
Likewise. Thank you.
So I got to ask you something, because I grew up here. I was born in Canada, raised in Canada. I don't know anything else outside of taking vacations. What made you decide to move to Canada? Why was this the most attractive option for you? Did you consider going anywhere else?
Well, yes, we did actually consider going to possibly France. And it was back in 2016 when the situation in my home country was not so encouraging. And I had back then 2 small daughters, and I thought I'm not going to keep them growing in this country, unfortunately. So we decided with my wife that we have to move. We have to make this move, and we decided to go to Canada. Basically, Canada. Well, everybody knows about this loving country, and it's a country that everybody would love to be in for several reasons: safety, security, school, the standard of living. We all know that. So we decided to just come in here and start our new lives. It's obviously a decision or it's a country where everybody would want to live. It's not something specific for me or for my family, but it's just being here. It's just amazing. I did a video when we came. I call it heaven on earth. Maybe somebody would say that that's too much, but I love this country.
So that's the perception that Canada had
yes.
for you prior to coming here.
Yes.
So this is like a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, 6 years later, you're living here. You still feel the same way about this place?
Well, yes. I still do. I still miss my home country. You know, nobody, well, we all know where we're coming from, and we definitely have it in our hearts always. But it's a country where you can plan ahead. You can feel the security. You can have your dreams in this country fulfilled. And like you just made this introduction, that's my 4th startup in life. And I remember, like, am I going to make it? Is it going to be too tough? I remember asking questions like, and I'm not young, so. Well, in the heart, yes. But I still remember that, will I be able, this question, starting for the 4th time in my life, in a new country, in a new market, in a new business again. But I'm proud to say humbly that, yes, I did 3 startups before, and I managed to go through it all. And I can say that I'm well on the way of reaching the top soon. It's been an amazing roller coaster ride for me, but I'm thankful and I'm grateful forever wherever I am today. Yeah.
Well, interesting. Okay, so you got the same perspective about this country now that you're living in it 6 years later, paying taxes in it, paying mortgages in it, shopping in it.
Let's leave this aside.
yeah, that's where I was going, right? A little different of a perception now that we're here. But let's be real. Perception is in the eye of the beholder. And that's really, anything in life, we will all perceive things a certain way until we are in that mix. And then if there's 2 parties involved, which there usually are, there's going to be 2 different perceptions. And that is not a bad thing necessarily. Now, I do want to state for the record, outside of all the bullshit that's been going on over the past few years here in this country, I am proud to say I am Canadian.
Yeah, likewise.
So I do want to throw that out there for all my fellow Canucks.
We do get a lot of things in against the taxes that we pay. We all know that. The free parts, the education, the health system. But anyway, yeah.
Look, we pay a lot of money for a lot of things here. Taxes are crazy. I think that we could take, any country in the world and compare Canada to it and say what's good over there, what's bad over here, what's bad over there, what's good over here. Again, perception. But tell me about this. I wanted to ask you. You say about starting a 4th business.
Yes.
Did you have doubts about all this stuff? Like, you're starting another business again. And I want to preface that by saying there's a lot of folks that are scared to get into any business. There's a lot of people that could not potentially survive as an entrepreneur because they're not driven enough, or they haven't got the the confidence in themselves to be able to pull it off, no matter what's going to come at you, because we all know it's not a 9-to-5 job. We all know that the responsibilities that sit on your shoulders are massive, and it's up to us to go out and do what we have to do. Now, you've done it. You've done it a number of times, and you've had success at it. You've also seen the struggles at it.
Oh yeah.
Here you are doing it again. Like, how did you get past that doubt?
I think it's, well, I would say it's a combination of several things. Determination, persistence. They're just words. I know if somebody's hearing me, oh, well, yeah, okay, persistence, perseverance.
Oh, there's a lot of people hearing you right now, just FYI.
So, but you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have a good foundation, whether at home or in the office, in your mindset, in MindShare. So
I like that word, MindShare.
Yeah, we're saying MindShare now.
I'm going to use that.
So, yeah. I'm not going to say it was a sweet piece of cake for me. No, I had my doubts, but thankfully I overcome them, and I'm here. I still believe in this, in whatever I'm doing. It wasn't an easy decision. I actually came up with this decision to start in real estate because in 2018 I still had my own business back home. So I wanted to have something which is a flexible type of business that I could be in, so I can still go backward, forward to my home country and take care of my business there. But then in 2019, it was all gone. Thankfully, I got my license back then, so I decided that I have nowhere to go, or no way to go forward other than just I have to bring food to the table, and I need to do this. And I was determined to succeed. I just made up my mind. I have to be there. And yeah.
I mean, starting a business for the fourth time, having the confidence in yourself to do so. Let me ask you this then. I mean, with an engineering background, being in the building materials business, what led you to get into real estate when you got here? Like, why that? Was it just there's an opportunity to make a lot of money? What, like, the love for doing, I mean, maybe the mix of? I'm just curious, why real estate?
No, actually, I was very skeptical about making a lot of money out of the real estate. And I know it's a very competitive industry where we're living in. I remember...
Hold on, but actually, forgive me to cut you off. I asked a question. I totally cut you off. My apologies. I just want to make a point, though. Every industry we can get into is competitive.
Yes.
Quite frankly, unless you figure something out that nobody else has figured out. And when you do that, they might call you like Elon Musk or like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Like, the reality is, for most of what's out there, there's always going to be competition. There's always going to be somebody who's been doing it longer. There's going to be somebody who might be doing it better.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you and I talk about, and we speak about a lot with everybody, blinders on, headphones on, don't worry about the noise, get out there. And if you're determined enough, you will achieve.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally cut you off there.
No, that's fine.
Why real estate?
Well, I was actually walking near the downtown in Oakville, where we are, and with my wife, and I saw this sign there that if you want to participate in kind of sales seminars, join us. So I joined. Back then it was Century 21 office on the Lakeshore Road. So I just went there and I was curious to know what's it about. But then I thought about being in a civil engineer. We do have some real estate back home still. I love homes. I love working with people. I've always been a salesperson. I love working with people, and it's a people's business, but then it's a numbers game. I believe that we are in this industry. So and again, it's because of I thought that it could be a flexible option for me to be in as an industry where I can still handle my business back home. But again, if we are in this business and you really want to be successful, you have to take it very seriously. There is no magic here. There are so many things that you need to do in order to make this happen for you. And I guess with some trials and errors, but then now being focused on whatever we do with you and on the ground and every day, the hustle, the time blocking. Well, we can talk about that maybe.
Yeah, no, I want to get into that. And I think as a kind of an extended question to why real estate, it's in the fact that, again, you've built businesses, so you understand from being an entrepreneur, you're a father, you're a husband, you understand from having the responsibilities that this is not just about you anymore.
Yes.
And, I guess from a mindset, like, what would you say to anybody who is thinking about a fresh start? Now I'm talking no matter their age, no matter what the voices in their head are saying about, the competition, the inside voices, the outside voices, the friends they talk to, what people are saying about it. How did mindset, I guess, itself play such a significant role for you in this situation? Because it's not easy to sit there and go, and we're going to get deeper into this story in a moment, but to go, I don't know anybody. Yeah. I'm not like just coming out of university anymore from an age demographic, let's say. It's a new country.
I know no
man,
one.
Like I that's powerful. It's powerful, Jay. How did you get around that?
It's mindshare, mindset. I remember, like, my uncle in the US said, I was very worried about you getting into this industry. And even if we go back into one of the businesses or one of the products that I was handling in my previous company. So it was very specific. It was an additive that I needed to convince a third world. Well, sorry to say that, but anyway, it's a country that doesn't believe in the environment, and I was trying to convince the end users to add an additive in their plastic bags to make them environmental friendly. And no one believed in it, not even my close family. And 2 years later, they all saw what I have done, and it turned out to be the best-selling product in my company. So it was like just amazing, from not believing in that this could work. And it's, again, I made up my mind. This will have to work. And the same applies here. Yes, many said that you're entering in a country, you don't know no one. It's a new industry, new field. How are you going to make it? And I believe, again, that having the right mindset and believing that I like this reel about Anthony Hopkins that it says, just believe. Like, you have to believe, even if you don't have any reason to believe, you have to believe. And that's the only way to succeed. Of course, there are so many things that follow. And then the agenda, the daily hustle that you need to do. But it all starts in the mindset. It's very hard to believe, but that's the truth.
I would agree with you. I think a lot of people look at the whole mindset thing and they've got these terms of like woo. And they look and say, oh yeah, sure. Like, yeah. And like, look, I'll have these arguments sometimes, even with my wife. And I'm very big on mindset. You know that, and everybody tuned in knows that. But we all fall into a rut at some point. We all get to a point where we think to ourselves, yeah, like I know, but I just gotta whatever that finish that sentence is, right?
Yeah.
We get to that point and sometimes look and say it's bigger than mindset. It's physical. I've got to do something. It's an action. And in the same breath that I'm saying this, I want to clarify that and say the way I break that down for myself you have to have the right mindset that you can succeed. You've got to have a strong mindset that even if things bring you down or struggles are what they are, it's really just one little struggle. It's really just one little obstacle. And if the mindset is strong enough, it will work you through mentally and emotionally how to get through that stuff.
Right.
Now it's about the hustle. It's about the actions you take to make it work.
Absolutely.
That said, if you haven't got the right mindset, you will never take action.
Yeah.
And so it's not a woo-woo thought. It is the depth of how our brains work, how our emotions work. And when we all think about it, emotions, the internal thoughts we have in our head, are what set the tone for the things we do or don't achieve.
Right. Yeah.
So you came to this country, you decided to start a new business after doing all these other businesses. You talk about the fact that mindset is right there at the top of the importance of that. And if you haven't got the right mindset, it's going to be a real struggle to get there.
Yeah.
Wherever there is for you. So let's fast forward now, right? You've moved to Canada. You've decided to get into this new business. You've decided to open yet another business again. And here you are doing it right at the tip of the iceberg of this whole worldwide changing thing called a pandemic, which was starting right at the same time. Yeah. So here we are going, and I want everybody to really internalize this, because if you've got any times in your mind where you think to yourself, oh, but I can't, or it's really tough, or why me, and they're not talking to me, or they don't like me, or you're blaming yourself every time you look in the mirror. There will be factors at play in life that will impact you in a way that you will have to have the right mindset to say, can I or can I not? And the truth of the matter is, most people, not everybody, but most people in life, forget that. Everybody in life is going to go through hardships.
Yeah.
Most people who go through hardships, however big or small, end up coming out on the other end of those hardships. Which means to everybody, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't know how far down the tunnel goes. So again, mindset being a big deal. But here you are, pandemic, voices in your head for sure.
Yeah.
Doubt, friends, family, I don't know. You didn't know anybody, yet you want to start this business that is all about people. That alone, my friend, is strength. Some might say courage. Some might say crazy. The reality is you've turned it into success. So I wanted to ask you, you shared a story with me one day that kind of just had me smiling from ear to ear. And just so everybody understands, this is as we talk about, how Jay found his success. I think that you've got to parallel this to yourself. You got to parallel this to people you know. You've got to parallel this to any situation you possibly can. And maybe it's not the exact same situation, but it's something that you can look at and go, have I been in something similar? You shared a story with me, and I want to ask you to share that story with everybody here. Those first people who helped you out, the ones that you first met when you came to Canada, those deals, those 3 deals. Can you share that story with us? And just, again, everybody, we set the stage. He comes from he comes to a new country, doesn't know a single person, obviously is not from Canada. So is facing, any outside. No, just, it is what it is. You come to a new place. You're like, oh my God, you kind of look around and go, which way do I go?
Yeah.
Tell us about this story, because I thought this was really cool.
Yeah, it happened when my eldest daughter actually went to school, and we happened to been invited to this nice family for just a casual meeting, because their daughter became a friend with my daughter, and we went there in an afternoon, and it was funny because we usually have dinner around 9 p.m. in my home country, but in here it's 5.
What time do you have lunch?
So we went there around 5, and we were surprised that it's a dinner thing. And we started, we get to know them. They're a very, very nice family. And moving forward, it was, of course, we stayed in touch. Every now and then we used to see each other. But in 2021, just around 2021, they decided to sell their house, and they contacted me to sell their house. I was happily surprised, obviously, and I did sell their house, and then bought another house for them just last year, and for several different reasons, now they're selling again with me. So, yeah, I remember you liked that story, but it was really heart moving, and they're a very nice family. It's something that tells us about how many families in this country are also treating each other and helping each other. So they embraced us as a family, and they were the first family that we get to know in this country. That ended up, I'm helping them now.
Not that this is a big matter, but are these people Canadians, born and raised here?
Italians.
Okay.
Yes.
But okay.
Not from my home country. No.
Their generations were born here. They're here though.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, this is what I found so special about the story. I know a lot of people that are born and raised in this country that have a major circle around them of people that they might have gone to school with, they interact with on a social level, they shop with, from, whatever, buy from. A professional network around, your doctors and your dentists and maybe your hairdresser, whatever. Yet they'll sit there and say, I don't know anybody. I don't know what to do. And I'm always saying to everybody, the first thing you got to do before you brush your teeth tonight, especially if you're brand new in this business, build yourself a contact list.
Yes.
Now, that's really easy to say to people that have grown up here because they have a network of people here. Say that to somebody who's brand new in the country and go build a contact list, and they're looking at you going, of who? I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So I want to clarify that point right there, because I think that when we talk about, and remember, we talk often about the 4-step attack plan. You've got to generate the lead. You've got to follow up with the lead. You have to convert the lead, and then you get your repeat and referral business from your clients.
Yes.
Well, in this case here, again, I don't want to say that we were generating a lead, but how did you bump into these people to begin with? You said it was school, right? Your kids were going to school?
Yeah. Their daughter became a friend of my eldest daughter. Yeah.
Okay. And as they became friends in school, how did the connection happen that you and the parents started to talk?
It's obviously because of the girls, but then every now and then we would meet up. And yes, they were on my database.
You added them on, though. So you consciously said, hey, let me put these people on the database.
Yes.
How did you get to that point if you guys didn't know each other that well?
Well, it's not difficult for you to put anyone in your database. And that's what...
Really? You mean just putting the name and typing it is not hard? I guess you're right, eh? You know that most people do consider it very difficult, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
So the CRM is or the database is our bread and butter in this industry, and everyone your hairdresser, your barber, your dentist, your close and far friend should be in this database, and they were one of those names in this database, and I honestly I became very close to them in the sense that we became friends. So we have them over for dinner. They would have us over for dinner.
No transactions yet. There's been no business done. Okay.
No, nothing. And they would know, what are you doing? I'm in real estate. And then I started. Once they knew, it's a bit tricky. You don't want them to feel. Obviously, they're very good friends, and I would love to help them if they want to reach out to me. That's what happened. And it was a very natural thing between getting to know a new family and then asking my help in these 3 transactions so far.
Interesting. So we got to meet them through our daughter. So we looked at, said, I didn't buy that lead.
No.
I didn't go knocking on doors for that lead. I simply looked within my circle of influence that's there, including my children and my children's friends and all the connections they have. Started to build relationships with the people that were ultimately closest to me within that circle. And one by one, instead of just saying, hey, I'll make a relationship, we actually also consciously, as a business owner, thought, let me add them to a database so I could build a process and a system.
Yes. Yes. No, I believe like that's the gold mine for any realtor. It's everything starts from there.
So you met these first people. Is that where that was the first deal that you did, right?
Actually, my first deal was my own investment property.
Okay. All right.
Back in 2020.
Cool.
It's because I was monitoring the market back then.
Yeah.
And I remember it was July 2020. And we were just entering into COVID. But for some reason, I realized that it was a V thing. So the economy everything stopped for a specific reason, which was COVID. But then it went back up. And I remember noticing that the market is shifting. And it's then that, because I was monitoring the market almost every week, I decided to buy this first investment property in St. Catharines. And I'm very grateful until this day that I did this decision. I took this decision and bought this property when everyone around me was saying, no, you shouldn't. And that's, again, when you believe in something and all the right mindset and the parameters that you're looking at tells you that this is the road you should take, then why not? If you keep on listening to everyone's opinion and some would take you to different directions, you end up losing it. So, but this family was among one of the transactions of 2021. It was a good year for everybody, but I'm proud to say that was my only second year in the real estate industry, and I managed to do quite well. Like you mentioned, the Red Diamond Award, which is the top 2% in Royal LePage.
Congrats, man! Congrats, that's amazing.
So yeah.
So what? Tell me, what would you say has been the hardest part about growing your real estate business?
Two things I would say: the not having, well, it used to be an issue, but not anymore. Not being able to time block. Like I was, as everything new, you want to, the road is not clear of what you should be doing. But as we move and as things change, you start to realize what you need to do in order to improve and get better in whatever you're doing. So time blocking was an issue for me. And I believe that today is a very important parameter of succeeding in this business. The second one, and it is an ongoing challenge of being able to spend time with the family and saying no to certain transactions. My wife keeps telling me that your phone is always beside you. It's an issue that I'm trying to get along with, but besides time blocking, I would say is just being out there and just doing the right thing. But I honestly, when I got to know you, things began to change. Obviously, again to the and I became more organized. And I was able to set up my daily schedule in a much better way, and just doing the system.
Would you say that system that you have built is what you might call your key to success?
Yes, absolutely.
Like for anybody here right now, like how would you define that to anybody here as they're sitting back and they're tuned in and they're watching or they're listening? That success. Like what is it that you say, hey, this is a must. This is what I've learned over the past number of years of being in this business and finding my own success. This is it. What would you say?
Like just working the system, which is, well, we know about the 10-year plan. You might want to talk about that later on, but
those are our secrets, Jay.
Okay.
No. To what Jay just alluded to, and we've got it. We do have a master plan process for how we go through and what we do to basically create this machine that is going to operate in the background for us to continue to drive business. Jay, in simple terms, it works.
It works. Okay. Absolutely. I believe I never tried buying leads.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people would buy leads. There are two types of people. The ones that you know, the ones that you don't know. The ones that you know, they should be in your database, in your CRM, working the system with them. Emails, mails, whatever. And then you have those that you don't know them, there are so many ways to get to know them. And everyone has his own way or preferable way of doing the business. But if you're asking me what works best for you is the referral. I'm actually on 100% referral. And I believe that referral is the number one way or method by which any real estate agent can become successful.
You're preaching to the choir with me, man. And but I do know that everybody that's tuned in, that especially is in the real estate business and or in sales, is probably not in their head in agreement right now because we all know it. Yeah. You bring up online lead gen, and everybody knows that's a can of worms for me. I've got my own 2 cents on that, and I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't work, but I am going to say that it's expensive, it's arduous, and you still need the system and the process in the background if you want to achieve conversion. And now if we start talking about ROI, return on investment for our marketing dollars spent, understand how much money we have to spend, understand what the infrastructure around that is, understand what the support mechanisms look like, that's going to determine whether or not we're actually going to see the ROI from our efforts, both time and money. Sure. And that's something I challenge anybody on when it comes to a marketing plan, which, of course, as you know, I do often with you, so we can make sure that we are in congruence with what it is we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So here, as we talk about marketing, then, we've just mentioned that the database is the gold. You're running 100% referrals. If I said to you, in a daily schedule, as we talk about even the time blocking, and I just say, what really works for you to tap into that database? What are you focused on more of a daily to know that you've put in the effort to get the results you're looking for?
It's not that I'm trying to advertise kits, but I love the system.
No, you can advertise kits all you want. We can make this whole thing about kit. No, I'm joking. Keep going.
Just like today, I got a reminder that it's the home anniversary of someone in my database, and I took immediately the home anniversary note cards and I wrote them a note card. Then I got the birthday reminder of someone. I picked up the phone, called them. And then I have what I really love about kids is the list of the phone calls that you need to do. And it will be populated in your email. So you don't
daily
have
call lists, right? Yeah. And the day starter emails. Yeah.
It's like you have to, if this database and I schedule each depending on each name and status of that name with me, if he's an active buyer, if he's an active seller, if he's a long-term buyer or long-term seller, it depends. So each one have a date on which I must call them. And doing the phone calls is the main drive behind the good reward at the end. So doing the phone calls is something I time block for in the morning, and I have a paper that I write the names that I need to call. If I'm driving around, I'll do those phone calls while driving. Also, have to
Bluetooth, hands-free.
Yeah, of course.
We advocate for safe driving over here.
And then at the end of the day, if there's still anything pending, I'll just make that phone call. So it's the way that I work out this database.
So a lot of this comes back down, and you said it before, but that hustle and that effort you put in to connect with those people. The database is the gold, and you're leveraging the phone to really work that database. And, well, it's evident you've been achieving awards because of it.
Yes. So, and then not giving up, because I can share another story with you. Happened recently. Like following up is something is key for you might like if a lead or someone you even know, and it's not a lead, stops replying to your phone calls or not even text, but you just have to keep following up, because that's what happened. I met a couple back in November at an open house, and I kept on calling, no replies, texting, no replies. A couple of months went back. Then I said, okay, if you're not happy or if I'm bugging you in any way, I can stop. I just want to be here if you need me, and just reminding you that I exist, that I'm here, that if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. And this happened just 2 weeks ago. They reached out to me, and I showed them a house, and they bought it. So, and they were someone who was not replying or taking my phone calls.
We at one time had a conversation around trusting in the process.
Yes.
That conversation happened at a time where things were a little bit quieter.
Yes.
And as we talked earlier in the show today about mindset and the voices in our head and the struggles that can come with the day-to-day and the responsibilities we have. Now that we sit here today, and we've talked about this, you and I together, just, on our own calls, but what does that statement really mean to you now when I say trust in the process?
Well, the English is simple.
And what would you say to everybody about that?
Like doubt will be in anyone's mind in this business, and they might think of maybe they send out a couple of billboards or postcards, or having some billboards on the roads, or like this is very good for awareness, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's good. But the system means that you have this gold mine of names that you need to work out with, whether by calling, emailing, mailing, and everything else that comes in between. Door knocking is another thing as well, but it's the machine that you mentioned. It's the generator, and I like to call it the plane, actually.
Okay, yeah, right.
The plane has a lot of instruments and 2 engines, and so if everything is in harmony, the plane will lift off. And that process, that what you mentioned, is this plane. And you're the captain.
I like that analogy. I don't know that you shared that analogy with me before, but I like that. I might actually use that.
To surprise you from some time.
I might actually use that. So if we sit here today and say, 6 years later, you've had some tremendous success, and let's be very, very real with each other and with everybody right now. It's also come with a tremendous amount of stress and hardships and real life, of the ups and downs of business and the ups and downs of life and, everything else. But, if we sit here today and say, it's been a really awesome ride on this plane so far, what do you wish you knew then that you do know now about what it truly takes to win in real estate?
we keep going back to this process.
Well, it's good though, because you know something, that answer that you're doing and you keep coming back to that is actually simplifying the whole thing.
Absolutely. Like there's no need to invent the wheel again and think that you have to do this and that. It's about, again, like time blocking is one of the instruments of displaying phone calls, emails, mails, Popeyes, everything, your client appreciation events. I mean, many realtors are doing this, and those who are doing or working the system and having a good coach like yourself possibly would make it even better. And I would like to say that I'm really thankful that we're working together. And yes, so it's the combination of everything. It's not that just that take this or that. There's nothing that you can choose in this industry that would make you successful. You can't just think that I would go on social media and do a video every day on Instagram and everybody will start calling me. Yes, people might know you or might know of you, but they want to trust you. They want to know who you are, and they want to know that you're a real human being. So it's a mix of everything. So the flaps should be in the right angle, the engine should be in the right speed, and the wind direction should be with you. So coming back to this analogy, I believe that if I knew this long time before, I wouldn't waste it. I wasted some money, yes, and I did some mistakes, which I learned from, obviously, like anyone else. But when you do a mistake, you only learn from it, and it will only make you stronger. So I think it took me some time, but I'm still, I would say, I'm still new in this industry, just my third year. I'm not ashamed or shying away from saying that's my only third year, but I can humbly say that I'm successful and I'm happy where I am today, and I know where I'm going.
You know, you just took a moment to bring up the coaching. You've actually dropped that a few times today, and I did want to ask you and bring this up just for anybody, because I think something you just mentioned there was, you know, what do you wish you knew then that you knew now? And it seems like, you know, back then we didn't know what process maybe needed to be implemented. Now we do. Back then, maybe we didn't start with a coach. Now now we're working together. You know, I guess what made you realize that maybe hiring a coach is the right next move to help you with your process? And I guess I might say, how did you determine that, you know, we at MindShare 101 were the right fit for you?
Well, we're live, so I can't say a lot.
I told you it's the MindShare podcast. You can say anything you want.
To be honest, like, again, you were not obviously my first coach. I was coached before. I tried. I didn't feel I didn't feel the chemistry. I felt something is missing. I've been to other seminars. I've been to other events. I got to know other coaches, and in this industry is very lonely. You need someone to talk to, and I know that there are, like, even LeBron James is a great basketball player, and he has a coach. So everybody needs one. It's just it's a matter of choosing the right one for you. And again, we're live, but you are so specific. You are unique. You follow up. You make me feel that I'm the only one you're working with, and you're just a very natural person that I can rely on in everything related to this industry. And I love that you're very, you're after everything that we speak about during our calls, and you never forget anything. It's something that I've never seen with any other coach. I look forward to our call every time, and I know that I'm learning and I'm experiencing something new. And I was surprised that you asked me to be on your show today, but and it's not a matter of speaking to each other just now, but and you know very well everything that I went through as well. So coaching is an essential part in this business. You might not be the right fit for everyone, maybe, but you want someone who is also hardworking from the other side. I know that. And again, it's an industry that you need to have someone beside you. I'm reading books and I'm doing what I need to do. I'm trusting the process, like you say, and being coached. So I think I'm on my way to success, and I'm very happy.
Well, first, thank you for the kind words. So everybody, and I say this very, very, very sincerely to everybody, none of this stuff is scripted. I'm certainly putting Jay on the spot right now to share.
I asked you, are there any questions? You said no. So everyone should know that this is not.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, I think that, you know, as you bring it up, what you wish you knew then that you know now, and sort of the journey you've been on and where you're at today and the awards you've won, and how we collectively, you and I know, without sharing details, that we've just watched your business do this, right, over the past number of months as well. Like, and just again, as markets go up and down and mindsets go up and down, it's like, what can we do to get there? We're seeing it come to life, and you know, it's truly an honor for me to be able to be a part of it with you. And you just mentioned, you know, we've got action steps at the end of every call. We've got things we need to do. There's progress that needs to be made. It's not just about doing a call. Yeah, Jay, you're amazing, and keep going. It's okay. Let's analyze, let's dissect, let's problem solve, let's figure it out, let's create action steps. Okay, go do. Let's continue to stay in touch with each other between calls, make sure we're doing, and then by the time we get to the next call, hopefully we've done and we can continue to move forward. Hence, we're again, that trajectory keeps going up. And you said it about hardworking. Absolutely. And that's incredibly important, is to have both of us working hard towards the goal. And as we're doing that, obviously there's some really amazing results happening, you know, so it's just amazing to watch your success story, Jay. And again, as you say about, you know, inviting you today, by all means, my man, you know, it's very, very, very well deserved. It's an honor to have you here. You know, it's very, very, very important, you know. All that said too, you know, it's one of these things that I say to anybody is, and you just mentioned it too. I'll say it very clearly. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't even like tea. So that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, but if you are looking for that push, if you are looking for that process, that problem solve, that real bare bones conversation, I think, my friend, you're probably you know, proof of that. And I hope that all of our coaching clients certainly feel the same way about those processes and what we're up to together. So it certainly is exciting, and it's an honor to be able to work with you and help you do that. I care a lot. And I want to bring up one more story before we start to close out today, but never mind, do I care? You've got a license plate that says Jay cares. And I want you to share the story because, as I recall, you didn't go make that plate for yourself.
No.
Tell us about this one, my friend.
So actually, maybe I didn't mention this, but I'm also now with Fisher and the Fisher Group. We have a couple of agents with us, and we're doing something great all together. And by that time, I got the opportunity, or actually to be in front of one of my friends / client, I would say. And he was asking me, like, okay, Jay, if I would ask you to list my house, what would you do? So I told him, actually, there are 1,181 tasks that I need to do. And do you want me to start telling you the whole story? And I said, no, but just briefly. So I said briefly what it is. And then he said, but there is still something that differentiates you and anyone else. And so what's that? He said, you truly care. So I was amazed because it is true. I truly care. Everyone who knows me personally, whether it's family or friends or on the business side, I truly care. It's just what I call myself as a perfectionist. I truly care to make everything perfect, and I want what's best for everyone around me. So he came up with this late idea, and he kind of gifted it to me, and I have it on my car since then.
Hey man, that is a testament to the fact that that you've built strong relationships with people, and people see the value in that with you. Very cool little story, and congratulations to you on that. That is awesome. You're leaving an impact on people, and we do, all jokes aside, though, we call that positive mindshare.
Yes.
And if people will remember you for those good moments and recognize that you do care, again, this is that stuff that we give. We give. Do not give to receive. But when you give and you do it properly, you shall receive.
Exactly. Absolutely.
As your day ends and everything's wrapping up at the end of your day, how do you know that it's been a successful day for you?
Good question.
Uh-huh.
I would say primarily if I have a set of goals or tasks for that specific day. If just before going to sleep, I find out that everything has been there is done and complete, I would be very happy. It would make it a great day if I was able to help someone either move to another house or even make someone laugh or someone feel good about anything during my daytime. But it's actually, or primarily, I like to see that the schedule of my day and anything that's included in it is completed before I go to bed. That's the primary thing. But of course, maybe a good laugh would make it great.
Well, the word money didn't come up, and that's a key factor right there.
Money is a byproduct.
The word help was the key one that I did hear. And I think for everybody, again, my regular listeners, which we talk about this all the time. I think it's 248 times we've done this now, but you continue to hear the consistent message there. And so again, from a mindset perspective and a paradigm shift, think about what you could do to get out there and help people, especially those of us in sales role, real estate specifically. Our job, our tasks are to market properties and negotiate deals. Our job, what we do every day, we help people buy and sell real estate. Again, we help people buy and sell real estate. So I always think about how important it is to help others. And as you help others, you will find more success.
Right.
Jay, some final words of wisdom, my friend. Anything that you could share with anybody out there right now that you want to just leave with them on their minds to help themselves build more mind share so that they can get more market share?
Believe in themselves and whatever they're doing, and just don't take any distractions from anyone else, because if you believe in something and your mind can conceive, you will achieve.
Powerful. Jay Ghanem, thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor to have you on the show. Some wonderful stories. Thank you for sharing them. A big congratulations on all the success that you've already achieved. And I am so excited for all the success that's coming your way. So once again, a big thank you to you. Keep up the hard work, my friend. And I will talk to you very shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're either listening to this episode on your favorite podcast platform. Maybe you're watching us live right now. Maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're there on the website, I do want to remind you to grab your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle. This is our 31-page ebook, including your free 90-day social media content calendar to help you build more mind share so that you can get more market share. A reminder as well that if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, a keynote talk for your upcoming event and or ongoing virtual training, just get in touch with me, connect with myself, my team. We'll set up a consultation call, learn more about what you're looking to achieve and how we are going to help you do just that. For all inquiries, just get in touch with us today. Also, don't forget to leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Big 5 stars, nice little review. We'd be grateful for that. Thank you in advance. It means a lot to us, and it helps us, helps us know that you're actually out there listening. Of course, don't forget to connect with me on Facebook at MindShare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan101. I want to take a very quick moment here to thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring this episode of the MindShare podcast, as well as our friends over at REM Real Estate Magazine, along with the ORCF, Ontario Realtors Care Foundation. I will take a quick moment as well to remind you that we are doing the motorcycle ride for charity that is taking place later on this month. And I am, motorcycles, you know me, motorcycles, squirrels, same thing in my world. I'm going to be on the ride with them. I'm going to be there to help support a great cause and, of course, have a great time. I do want to throw it out there that if you'd like to get involved, either as a rider and or as a someone who wants to donate, go over to realtorscareontario.ca/ride. Again, that's realtorscareontario.ca/ride. If you'd like to pledge a specific rider, you could just type in my name. That'll work. That being said, you probably know a whole bunch of people over there, but do get involved. It is for a great cause. We are raising money for shelter. Supporting Ontarians, Ontario realtors across the country to put roofs over, as many heads as we possibly can. So, again, check it out. Ontario or realtorscareontario.ca/ride. This has been another episode of the MindShare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.